welcome back to another EV John Adventures YouTube channel video. You join me here in the office/studio where I'd like to talk about Volkswagens. There are reports from ID4 owners across forums all over the internet about a mandatory software update for 2024 and 2025 Volkswagen ID4s that's leaving cars bricked at dealers for a week or more. What is going on with that? And how is it related to Volkswagen's recent supercharger access? Is this a NACS adapter related update? Let's dig into it. Okay, first let's take a look at what is this software update. Volkswagen is calling it Action 91VH. As you can see on the screenshot here from Reddit, this is a message that Volkswagen owners are getting in-app. And it says that they need to visit the dealer to do the software update to improve vehicle operation and performance and comfort, and it might include new features or functionality. So very vague. It also says that depending on the configuration, it will also provide bug fixes, enhancements, and improvements to certain vehicle systems such as vehicle connectivity, charging system robustness, seat memory, window operation, and more. Now, a friend of mine has a 2024 Volkswagen ID4 that's currently going on 2 weeks at the dealership for this update. And he sent me the full text of this software update beyond what we can see in that screenshot. So let's take a look at what my friend sent me. Basically, the first part is what we've already seen, but it goes on to say, we strongly recommend that owners have the vehicle software updated prior to using the Volkswagen approved NACS DC charging adapter when available for purchase. Now note that this adapter is available for purchase. You can order it through your dealer or you can order it through Volkswagen Parts online, and I know many people who already have it and are using it. But they're recommending to get this before using the adapter to charge the vehicle, as the update includes additional safeguards to prevent certain risks such as property damage, fire, and or injury that could occur in the case of adapter misuse. Please note that regardless of the vehicle's software level, customers must use only the Volkswagen approved NACS DC charging adapter. Now that bottom language is very standard across automakers. Almost every automaker that I'm aware of says, hey, we only want you to use our own official NACS adapter for charging at superchargers. I believe Tesla themselves even say this, that they only want you to use their OEM provided CCS1 adapter when charging at CCS stations. So that's pretty standard. But this earlier part about updates for safeguards for fire risks is really curious to me. And I'll say that for a couple of reasons. First, EVs and DC fast charging dispensers usually have no awareness that there is an adapter in the middle, right? These adapters, they can be smart sometimes with sensors and switches and micro switches, but all they do is interrupt or change the communication, let's say on temperatures or things like that. If the adapter decides it's getting too warm and it needs to derate, it can kind of pass that communication along to the car, and then the car can derate its charge. But other than that, EVs and DC fast chargers are usually completely unaware and have no ability to detect if an adapter is being used. So I'm curious, what is Volkswagen doing here? Are they updating the ID4 software to maybe change the thresholds or the guardrails around pin temperatures that it can monitor on the port? Is it slowing DC fast charging speeds overall? What is going on here? We really don't know. My friend who is an ID4 owner, we will take his car to a supercharger once it's finished this update, and we'll test and see how that charge session compares to earlier ones that he's had on CCS1 stations. So that's going to be very interesting to watch. The other thing that's questionable about this language here is that Volkswagens could have been charging on Tesla supercharger stations for well over a year. While they did just gain official supercharger access in the last week or so, here we are at the end of November in 2025, Magic Dock stations have existed for well over a year, and Volkswagens of any kind could always go to a Magic Dock station and charge with an adapter on a Tesla supercharger. I haven't heard of any issues with this from the Volkswagen community, from the Tesla side, nothing. So I'm curious, what about this change makes it worthy of a software update, where Volkswagens could have been doing this already for months and months and months. So that doesn't add up to me either. So very, very curious to me. And I also want to talk about the software update at a dealer. Volkswagens have received over-the-air updates in the past. Now, I've heard it's taken several hours for them to happen, but I know ID4s have received over-the-air updates in the past. So why does this update require a dealer visit? Maybe I'm glad it does, because it seems to be bricking cars. And in terms of bricking cars, let's take a look at that. We can see right here that updates are taking quite a long time. Someone here is saying, as we can see here in this Reddit post, took 5 days, right? The first time they went, they said it would take 2 days, so I went back and it ended up taking 5 days. My 2024 has been at the dealership for 5 days and counting. They originally thought it would take 5 hours, but it's been a gong show, and they've had to engage the VW team. I've heard about this locally as well, that the dealers are having to reach out to support in Germany for this, and they're not getting a quick response, and it's just taking lots and lots of time. Here's another comment. I'm in the same boat on day 7, and they're stuck and can't get a response from Volkswagen on how to finish it up. This is just insane. Now, all of these owners appear to have loaner vehicles. My friend also has a loaner vehicle. That takes some of the sting off, but it's not the same experience. You need your car back, and it seems crazy to me that a software update is bricking a car for quite a while. We're also seeing here in this other Reddit post from just earlier yesterday, that they're saying that they basically have to dedicate a bay to the car, and they're only taking in one car at a time for software updates, because it has to sit there and take up that bay in their service area the entire time that the software downloads and installs. Apparently it makes spaceship noises every now and then, and they can't allocate more bays because these could take quite a while. And obviously the Volkswagen service department has many other cars to service versus just updating the software updates. So this whole thing seems crazy. Post after post after post. I'm in the middle of this update. The dealer had to keep it overnight, and they did not realize it involved multiple different parts, and it's crazy. They tried to update it, and this crashed multiple times. It took over 3 days each, which is just insane. And finally, this one here at the end on the ID Talk forum, this was just from today. I went back and got my update yesterday. They finished within a day. This is seemingly really good news, but then on the way home, the infotainment system crashed and the system went black. I long pressed the button. It got stuck on the welcome screen. Slightly concerning. Let the car sit in the garage for an hour, and then it booted up and seemed fine. But again, a crash like this on the road right after a software update, this is insane. So I just wanted to share this. I don't see a ton of people talking about this outside of the ID4 community, and I think it's absolutely insane that a software update can brick your car for a week or more and leave you without your car. This is 2025. I have 2 Volkswagens, older ones, and they have both received software updates much, much, much simpler, and not anywhere near the level of my other car, which is a Tesla. I have a 2024 Tesla Model Y. It receives software updates at least monthly in my driveway, and it gets new features introduced to it all the time, and there's never ever been a problem with it. They never take more than an hour to happen, and you can choose the scheduling of it on your own. So Volkswagen needs to get with it. We know they've had all kinds of problems with CarYad in the past. We know brighter days are ahead for Volkswagen because they have their partnership with Rivian, and Rivian software is coming, and it really can't come soon enough. So anyway, that's what I wanted to share today. Drop a note in the comments here if you have an ID4. What has your experience been? Have you got this software update on your 24 or 25 ID4? Has it gone smoothly, or is it still being bricked? Is it still at the dealership? I also want to hear if you've charged your ID4 on a Tesla Supercharger before or after the update. And last, I'll leave you with this. I'm normally a huge fan of getting software updates as soon as they're available, but in this case, hearing all of these stories, if I had an ID4 and it needed a software update, I wouldn't take it in yet. Let's give them a couple more weeks, a couple more months to get them sorted out, get the process ironed out more smoothly before I take my own car in, because I definitely don't need it held up. This is not fair to Volkswagen ID4 owners. It's not fair to Volkswagen dealers, who are really trying their best to get these cars serviced and out the door and do right for their customers, and they're getting hung up and waiting for Volkswagen service. So we really need Volkswagen to step up and get this ironed out and maybe do some communications about it so we don't keep sending folks to dealers to have their cars bricked. Thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon.